Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is Election Day, or early voting opens today in the state of Georgia. Now, little side note from your host here, BKP. I do not agree with early voting. I believe in Election Day, okay? So don't get upset with me. I just don't believe in early voting. But early voting has started. Every possible way there could be fraud in an election has started today. The clock is running. No, just joking. But, no, I'm not joking about that. I'm just not an early voting guy, but I want to take a little wager. How many of you out there that are associated, located, or know the area of Ellijay or North Georgia, how many of you would like to place a wager when the door opens? Watch your Facebook page. When the door opens over here in Gilmer County for voting, the first person standing there will be Joe McCutcheon, and he will be on Facebook before 9 o'clock, and you will see a blast out that Joe McCutcheon was proud to be the first person in the state of Georgia to vote for the next governor, Hunter Hill. How many want to take that wager? I don't think I want to. He's already put the word out that he is going to vote for his nephew, Hunter Hill, this morning for governor. Busy week. Okay, let's tell people how to get in touch with us. We got a lot going on. Have you watched, Amanda, have you watched The Handmaid's Tales?
No, I have not.
Okay, I have. I'm right up to... I watched all of season 1. I watched season 2. The first 2 episodes that are posted. I've watched both of those. I understand the entire reference Michelle Wolf made about Aunt Lydia. We're going to talk about the Correspondents' Dinner. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. We're going to talk about it in a little different way. A little different way than the media out there obviously is talking about it. But if you'd like to get in touch with the show, it's 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. Chief@FetcherNews.com. And then FYN TV at Fetcher News. Follow us on Twitter at Fetcher News, at FYN TV. Go to our YouTube channel, if you would, please, and subscribe. Hit subscribe up there, and anytime we're broadcasting anything live, you will get a notification. And let's see what else we have. Today is Monday, meaning at 10 o'clock will be our second live airing of Instant Replay with Dave Garner. Dave Garner is the host of Instant Replay, the only live online Monday morning sports show in North Georgia. They started last week. Amanda, Sam, Luther, and Dave Garner putting this product together. They did a great job. They took last week, and what I love about this operation around here, they took last week, they did a post-production meeting. They've already made some enormous changes, and every week they'll make changes to turn this into the best sports show that you don't want to miss every Monday morning at 10 a.m. live.
And we're having a lot of fun doing it, too.
Are you having a lot of fun doing it?
We are.
You know what, Amanda?
What?
Good morning, by the way. It's 8:04. We have to move along, but you know, I'm a little sensitive. You know that, right?
Yes, to put it lightly.
Okay. I have never, since the day you got here, heard you once say and turn the mic on about this show saying we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Oh my gosh.
No, I've never heard. No, I'm serious.
Yes, you have.
Folks, let me get right into this show, but let me tell you how things work around here. We like to bring you in, make you part of the family. So they're putting together a flyer because it's graduation. We're going to go over that. It's graduation time. So they're putting together a graduation flyer. So this is what I hear. Okay, we need to get with you during the first break so you can look at the graduation flyer. Lisa likes it, Amanda likes it, and Sam likes it. We want to see what you think. Now, do you believe they really want to see and know what I think about this flyer if 3 of them have already voted yes?
Well, we just, No,
I'm just sharing with them.
You are CEO.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for me. Don't
We're
make me.
probably gonna go with it anyway.
You're gonna go
right.
with it anyway, okay? But you're gonna make me feel good. Are you tired already of the election mailers? I mean, I only brought a couple. I'm not endorsing any candidates in Georgia. Are you tired of the election mailers already? Let's see. I wonder which one is the true conservative. You remember that show, What's My Line? Who is the true conservative in the bunch? I tell you, I am so tired, and this is even any candidate, even the ones I like, I am so tired of hearing the candidate, conservative, here it is, I love this one, conservative leadership you can count on. Really? Really? Conservative leadership you can, here's Rick Jeffries. He's running for lieutenant governor. He's a businessman, devoted Christian, and a family man. Oh, those are some things I must know about you, right? And Jeffries, when he was born, he's a fourth-generation farmer, Papa tractor or whatever. That's all that's left on here. Let's see. I'm not saying it. Oh, let's see. Conservative leadership. That is in bold letters. Fight for our conservative values. That's what he will do if he's elected. And Second Amendment.
That booklet is Rick Jeffries?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, protect the Second Amendment. They'll reduce college tuition, repeal outdated regulations, stand up for the unborn, stop illegal immigration. If they're always doing this every term, I mean, why do they have to keep doing it? Okay, I want to get the flyer from the candidate that said, I had total success and it's all working now, right?
Yeah, just keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, okay, all right. So that's a conservative. Okay. Now, David Belle Isles, the former former mayor of Alpharetta. I understand a lot. I'm not saying anything. I just brought a couple. He's a successful mayor. Check that off. Business owner. Check that off. Follower of Christ and pro-life. Check that off. Devoted husband and father. That's nice. Check that off. He's a candidate for Secretary of State. He's candidate for Secretary of State. Now, I'm for sure he's Georgia conservative. He's right at the top. He is a conservative leader with a bold vision to make a better Georgia through the office of Secretary of State. I'm not picking on these people here, these candidates. I'm sorry, all candidates. It is laughable of the moves that you make to try to get the vote. Require a voter ID to vote by absentee ballot. Ensure only U.S. citizens can vote. All right. Conservative, he has a conservative plan. All right, we got that one. I mean, are you good? Now, we got Casey Cagle, right? So Casey's getting tough on immigration in this one, all right? Casey Cagle led to keep us safe from criminal illegal immigrants. I really think it's wrong to put illegal and immigrants in the same sentence. Plenty of politicians and career candidates for office talk a good game about combating illegal immigration, but Casey Cagle led to enact and enforce the law banning sanctuary cities to keep our communities and families safe. Let's see, I wonder if he's a conservative. Vote conservative Casey Cagle for governor. Hell, how am I going to distinguish who the real conservative is in this race, all of these races? How will we ever figure this out? Who is the most pro-life? How will we figure out who supports the Second Amendment the most? Now, this is not a mailer. I had more. I could have brought in more. I got a stack of them already. You do too, all right? Let me go with this at 8:09. We're going to get into the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We're going to get into everything, but right now it's a busy week in Georgia elections. Do you have the Kemp video ready to go? Just give me a thumbs up if it's ready.
I sure do.
All right, Brian Kemp. I got to give it. Please, I'm not endorsing any damn body this Monday morning, but Brian Kemp, I got to say, I love this video. It's got the liberals screaming in downtown Atlanta, and as soon as a liberal screams about a gun, you can sure to find, Channel 11, Fox 5, Channel, all of them. I don't want to miss out on any of them. They'll all be right there as soon as some people are offended and they're concerned about the message that this campaign ad may send. But hey, somebody's got some rules to dating his daughter. Watch this video, Jake, the 30 second. I love this one. Go with it.
I'm Brian Kemp. This is Jake, young man interested in one of my daughters.
Yes, sir.
Jake asked why I was running for governor. I said 1,
Cap government spending.
2,
Take a chainsaw to regulations.
3,
Make Georgia #1 for small business.
and 2 things if you're gonna date one of my daughters.
Respect,
And
a healthy appreciation for the Second Amendment, sir.
we're gonna get along just fine.
Brian Kemp for governor. Governor.
I'm sorry, I do not play and give free advertising, but Jake, did you like Jake, Amanda?
I loved it.
Huh?
I loved it. It's very funny.
Yes, yeah. Jake needs to understand what's going on if he wants to date Brian Kemp's daughter. I like that. I thought it was good. It's already got the left's head spinning off. A couple things this week. It's very, very busy. Watch the calendar. We will go over all morning long, but Wednesday we have a lot of things going on. Wednesday, Georgia Governor Nathan Deal will be in Blue Ridge at 11:30 to sign his final state budget. The final state budget will be signed at the old courthouse, in front of the old courthouse in Fannin County. They will also at that time have a acknowledgement of North Georgia College Blue Ridge campus getting a physical campus there, brick and mortar school going in there. I think about $5 million invested in that. We'll talk about that, but that's Wednesday. The governor of Georgia will be in Blue Ridge at 11:30 with the Speaker of the House, David Ralston. Wednesday, we will have Rhinestone and Burlap will be in here Wednesday, Rick and Bruce, and they'll be running the controls. And Natalie and myself, we will be with the Casey Cagle campaign. Wednesday, we are going to start at 8 in the morning, and you're going to want to follow us on Facebook. We're going to be doing Facebook Live, tweeting out, Instagram. If we could do it all day long, Natalie and I are going to start, I think it's in Clarksville, Georgia up here. Clarksville, I think it is, but it's a couple hours from here. And we're going to make about 5 stops. We're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning and finish at 5 o'clock in the afternoon down here at Pickens at the what's the Appalachian Pawn and Gun? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Appalachian Gun Range.
Appalachian Gun Range down there, Pawn and Gun down there in Pickens County. We're going to be stopping there probably about 5 o'clock. But we're going to spend a total day on the presumptive right now leader in the race, according to some polls. But we'll talk about polls later. Casey Cagle, Natalie, and I. Day with the candidate. We're going to get off. We're going to talk to supporters, why they're supporting the candidate, just what's it like to be on the campaign trail. Wednesday morning, also at 8 o'clock, Hunter Hill will be in Ellijay, Georgia. Candidate for Governor Hunter Hill will be over at the Ellijay restaurant at 8 o'clock, and he'll be in Ellijay for an hour and a half, and we are going to have a reporter over there reporting on that. Wednesday, I think Wednesday evening is the meet and greet. We got to get to that. So we will get everything to you. We'll make sure we'll get everything at 9 o'clock. We have a candidate forum, Fannin Chamber of Commerce this week. We have a candidate meet and greet at Gilmer Chamber of Commerce this week. Margaret Williamson has a candidate for Georgia State House seat 7, 7th District. She has a meet and greet down at Coosawattee. We'll get the time and detail on that. The list goes on and on. I think I'm forgetting things. I really do, so we got to go through everything. All right. Before we get to our first break, kill the mic, drop the mic. I guess they did not do much research on me, so let's put the picture up. Now, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, first of all, before any of the media gets a hold of this, okay, before they get a hold of this and spin it, like they have been doing, or you hear the spin, I'm sorry, not before they get a hold of it, but before you hear all the spin from the media on the White House Correspondents' dinner the other night, and the put up Michelle Wolf, and this is the comedian Michelle Wolf. There's Michelle and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but put up Michelle Wolf there for a minute. I think I just sent one of her. She was the comedian, I think it's Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night, whenever it was. And the media seems to be, there's an outrage of what took place because, I mean, she said a lot of bad words, and I'm not going to say them here. I thought about saying some things, but I'm just not going to. But she is the comedian. And halfway through, she looks at the audience. She said, I guess they did not do much research on me. First of all, let me give you the end first. The left is not shocked this morning. This is who they are, okay? The left, the White House Correspondents Association, they know when they hired this lady to do this event, they did the research. They knew who she is. They know her, okay? So don't fall for Minka Brzezinski, all right, talking about how she's outraged the way she talked about Sarah Huckabee Sanders, okay? She's a writer from The Daily Show. She's a writer from The Daily Show. An article in Vanity Fair, and this is an article in the Vanity Fair. This is February 22nd, 2018. Michelle Wolf is the perfect, okay, this is from Vanity Fair, perfect White House Correspondents' Dinner host. She's the perfect host. Oh, absolutely. The Daily Show contributor is uniquely positioned to criticize Trump on one of his biggest flaws as president. Okay? They're from the left. They knew this. This article, and I don't have time to go into it, is back from February. Okay? We're in March, April. This is February 22nd. Don't get fooled by the bow ties in there. Don't get fooled by everybody coming out and saying they're outraged. They all went to the after parties, okay? Don't get fooled by the media on Sunday morning and everybody going around the round tables of talking heads of the morning show saying, oh, we are just so, it was outrageous. I mean, everybody was so uncomfortable. Don't get fooled by that, okay? Because just because they were in the bow ties and gowns, you have the ladies and the guys that are going to be out at the Hamptons, okay, this summer, and they'll be saying, oh, I was there. It was just horrible. It was horrible what was going on. What was said was horrible. But, you know, Donald Trump started it. You know, if Donald Trump wouldn't have started talking about Rosie O'Donnell and Minka and just all of the negatives. You remember when the Donald Trump, and I know you're not going to be happy with this, but I'm in an I don't care mood right now. You remember when Donald Trump, you know, said Miss Universe was a fat chick and she got the, you know, she came out, she decided she's fat, now she's fat, she got a little heavy, and you remember she came out, don't go after me, damn it, don't go after me. And you remember she said he came, and they tried everything during the election. He called me Miss Piggy. Remember? He called me Miss Piggy. Remember that, Miss Universe? See, they're going to get over to Hamptons and, oh, Michelle it was just horrible. But, you know, if Donald Trump wouldn't have been snatching something off a bus when he was getting off that bus with, what's his name from Access Hollywood, you know, this would have never started. This would have never happened. Okay, fine. This is what you do not fall for. Michelle Wolf is a perfect White House corresponding guest. That's exactly what they knew that going in. The people knew they know. The left knows. Now let me just tell you something. I want to say something. This White House Correspondents' Dinner. If you ever watch a show on HBO, and I don't want to spend too much time on this. And it's called Newsroom with Jeff Daniels. All right. Now, Newsroom is from the left. It is from the left. It absolutely is. Okay. It is no different. It's like looking in the window of NBC or ABC or CBS. Atlanta's news network. Okay. And Newsroom, if you watch that, you will see the exact young people in these newsrooms, Washington Post, New York Times, and these people, the elitist, okay, that think they have to help do everything they can to bring Donald Trump back. Now, all right, let me go over some pictures here. Aunt Lydia. Now, you heard the reference last night, Aunt Lydia. Now, Aunt Lydia, the Handmaid's Tale joke at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was not a slam on Sarah Sanders' looks. Okay? That's what they're saying. Sarah Sanders attended Saturday night's White House Correspondent Dinner as a visible, annoyed representative of the Trump administration. Oh, they're going after her really good in this article, okay? The press secretary looked uncomfortable as the host and Daily Show contributor Michelle Wolf went all in on her. Viewers of everyone from congressional Dems to Ivanka Trump and Stormy Daniels. But Wolf had especially went after Sanders, who is compared to Aunt Lydia, one of the darkest characters on contemporary television, all right? Called her Aunt Lydia and said Mike Pence would be proud. If you haven't seen it, you would love it. She then directly attacked Sanders' lack of truthfulness with the press. Now, not going into this, Aunt Lydia here in The Handmaid's Tale, the women that have been captured and turned into handmaidens. It's a long story, but this show has biblical, somehow there's a war and these real radical religious group took over the United States and they turned these women into handmaidens. I'm just putting it all in a box really quick. And this lady's over the handmaiden. She's in charge, okay? And she is evil. This woman is absolutely evil. There is nothing about what she did, all right? There's nothing about what she did that was okay. It really is not. And the White House Correspondents put up at the after party. This is how they were yucking it up. Put up the picture I have. There's Kathy Griffin, okay, with you know who? What's her name? Andrea Mitchell. NBC, Andrea Mitchell. The party didn't stop in Washington following the White House Correspondents Association. They were so upset. They went right to the party. Let's see who was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Among those eyed braving the unusual chilly Saturday night temperatures at the Art Museum of Americas in Washington, Senator Christopher Coon, the Democrat from Delaware. Let's see, Castro, the Representative Castro, Democrat from Texas. Shapley, Matt and Mercedes Shapley, Nicole Wallace, Andrea Mitchell, Peter Alexander, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was seen smiling despite what took place earlier. Hallie Jackson was there, Casey Hunt, Christy Welker. Let's see. I want to see Parkland, Florida school shooting survivor David Hogg made it to the party. You are
kidding me.
No, he's at the after party. Okay. Stormy Daniels' lawyer happened to be there.
What?
Yes. And so the list goes on. All right. Doug Jones made it from Alabama. The list goes on. Please do not for 1 second think that the left is upset, that they are broken up over this. But, at the same time, in Washington, Michigan, Trump packed the House, brought it down, and said, hey, if I don't get border security, I'll shut the place down. Be careful, you have to be careful. Trump makes those campaign promises. He might keep them. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after this. The caravan has made it to the San Diego border. That's one thing. And also, let's see what else we have. Oh, in Chicago, Mayor Rahm Emanuel is giving out a key to the city to every illegal that wants one. We'll talk about that. Time is changing in North Korea. I mean, time is literally changing. Trump has actually changed time in North Korea. You wait till you hear about this. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after these messages. Take us to break.
I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Yellow pollen means green cash at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. The spring savings event is on at Days, and the discounts are deep. Now save up to $11,000 off select new 2018 Chevy Silverados, or up to $6,000 off select new 2018 Equinox. Pick any Chevy you want and save a bunch during the spring savings event going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
One.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I do not want to continue this, but I do want to put up, she was called Aunt Lydia, and put that back, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, which treated terrible, absolutely terrible. And she was called Aunt Lydia, put Aunt Lydia up from the Handmaiden Tales, a Netflix series. Very evil woman, and then also put up handmaids. I put these. This woman is in charge of all these handmaids. I mean, I have to tell you, there's a lot more underlying meaning to what Michelle Wolf did than just try to associate Sarah Huckabee Sanders to this show. It's a Me Too. It's these women are enslaved, okay, and the women that are enslaved here as handmaids are run by other women that are, subservient to men. You see what I'm saying? And it has a religious overtone that the men are in charge. Oh, absolutely. They know what they're doing. They don't play games. Put up Sarah Huckabee Sanders' kids. These are her 3 children, okay? This is a mother. Now, this is what disgust, and I know you can't stand this because you, the audience here, are not disgusted by it. You praise it. You acknowledge it. You accept it. You say, this is beautiful. Because I know so many of you, I know when you're going to your grandkids, you call me, where are you going? You're going to your grandkids' birthday parties and stuff like that. All right, it's beautiful. You're going to your son and daughter, whatever, birthday party for the kids, cookouts. I mean, we still love that in America, but this is absolutely, to some, a terrible sight. 3 children. My God, how could this woman go and bring 3 children into the world, beautiful children, have a job, she's married, has a job, a family, full-time job, raising these 3 kids? Just saying, it was out of line. Everything about that was out of line. Because all of the things that they're playing on TV this morning are all things Trump said. And if you want to go after President Trump, go after President Trump. If she would have had a 20 minutes of, nasty, vulgar stuff that I don't even want to hear, and it all went after President Trump, fine, go after President Trump. And then if the media was out there saying, well, Trump said it first. Trump said that Kirsten Gillibrand would literally do anything for a campaign contribution. Trump said all these nasty things about these women. Leave Sarah Huckabee Sanders alone. Now, I will tell you, the left knows what they're doing. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has gone into the White House. She's not the, who was the last woman that was in there? Sean Spicer? So, Sarah Huckabee Sanders is not Sean Spicer. She walks in there. She tells them that she will not entertain the questions. She tells the White House correspondents that it's ridiculous. She stands up to them. She slaps them down. She has told them off. I mean, she has handled that podium like no one that I can remember. No one I can remember. Probably the White House press secretary I might have admired and respected the most was Tony Snow. And don't take that wrong and negative. Tony Snow, I really like Tony Snow, okay? But this woman has gone in and she has to answer the questions when we have a deep state of a corrupt Department of Justice, FBI, and the intelligence side of this country, and she has to go in and make the defense, and she's fighting the battle in the front line every day against the White House correspondents that are doing everything they can to help try to take down the President of the United States. And they decided they would get even with her last night. You do not fall for the White House Correspondents Association did not realize who this woman is. You do not fall for that they did not realize she would get up and go after Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You don't fall for that they had Sanders sitting there and said, you know what, we sit and you knock us down, get ready because it's coming. Don't fall for it 1 minute. Okay, let me go on to something else, okay? Let's move on to Donald Trump is literally, whether you like it or not, he's literally changing time in North Korea. Now, in Michigan, in Washington, Michigan, Trump had a standing room only crowd, okay? And he was Donald Trump. I love when the guy gets proud of himself, walks around the stage. But he said, they're saying, what did Donald Trump have to do with North Korea? And he says, maybe everything. Folks, let me tell you something. He has. Now, without going into great detail, all right, the biggest fear that Kim Jong-un has today is the United States of America Libya denuclearization model. That's the fear he has. See, we went to the Colonel Gaddafi. We went to Colonel Gaddafi, not Colonel Sanders. We went to Colonel Gaddafi in Libya. And we put the Libyan denuclearization plan together. And he did it. He followed through. Next thing you know, He was drugged through the streets like a piñata. Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State. There is Gaddafi drugged through the streets like a piñata. And not to mention, our ambassador, Stevens, was drugged through the streets in Benghazi. Okay? Obama's president, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State. Susan Rice is on the Sunday morning shows lying about it. But I will say this. They're trying to put together the Libyan, and that's what concerns Kim Jong-un, is that, hey, that Libyan denuclearization model did not quite work out for Colonel Gaddafi. So he takes the bullet train. There's so many firsts here. The media is not going to give Trump the credit. They're trying to figure out how to sabotage this now. I'm telling you. Okay? For a year, for the first year, the best laid plans, the only thing the media talks about to you in the North Korean situation in South Korea is the tweets. That's it. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about a year of preparation, whether you like Rex Tillerson or not. For 1 year, okay? Mike Pompeo, the President of the United States himself, and Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, worked the South Asian Sea there. They worked it. They went to China. They went to Japan. They went to Indonesia. They went to Vietnam. They went to the Philippines. They went everywhere there. South Korea. They went everywhere and laid all the groundwork for a year. And Kim Jong-un watched that. He watched for a year. Okay, thank you for putting that up. That's the president and Kim Jong, president of South Korea, and the dictator Kim Jong-un. He watched for a year. He watched President Trump go to China. He watched President Trump, eat dinner with Xi. And he's sitting back and he's saying, wait a minute, President Xi of China, that's supposed to be my friend. Wait a minute. No. Trump's over there making friends with my friend. Trump is over there talking to, he's talking to our number one ally. So this guy does a first. He takes the bullet train, 17.5 miles an hour. First time since becoming dictator does he leave, all right, the country. First time. And he goes to China for a meeting. And my opinion is, I'm not in there. But hell, MSNBC is over there making up all kinds of stuff. My opinion is this guy goes to China and he says, hey, if I work things out, are you going to sit down with the Americans and get them to promise that they're not going to come in and take me out? Are you? And if they do, will you support me? See, that's what happened the first time China got involved. Yes. Go to the 1950s. See how many Chinese died in the Korean War fighting with North Korea. So anyhow, he's over there saying, are you promise? He is going to allow journalists in. A first. There's so many firsts already. Well, we don't know. We have to hold back and watch and see. Yes, we do. Because the media is going to do everything to say Libyan denuclearization model to this guy as many times as they can. That's what they're going to do. The media is going to do everything they can to upend this, get rid of this deal. So here's the thing. First, South Korea, as simple as it can be. South Korea steps across North Korea, president. Vice versa, steps across. I never thought, what is it called, defect? Right? He could have defected to South Korea when he was on. He could have run. Here's a joke. I understand. But first, they're going to let reporters in. And you keep wondering why this guy is going to do this and why he is even considering this. His people are starving, folks. They're starving. The sanctions, they are starving over there. And I'm telling you, there's an uprising. Now, we could probably hang on for a little bit, maybe, you don't know, and there could be an uprising. Maybe they're too weak to uprise. That's not a joke. They're starving. But he's on edge. He's running out of money in this regime. He's running out of places to go. Russia is putting stuff in there, but he's running out of things. And I'm telling you right now, time has changed, literally. Look it up. I'm pretty sure you can look it up. I think they're setting it back. Amanda, you can look it up later in the show. You can tell me. I think they're setting it back. But North Korea and South Korea, their clocks are not set the same. North Korea is ahead by a half hour, their clocks. He's literally going to set the clocks back in North Korea so there's one time in Korea. One time. That's it. If it's 2 o'clock in Seoul, it's 2 o'clock at the palace in North Korea. That's what he's going to do. I'm telling you right now, the media is working every solid angle to stop this. Trump is doing everything correct. And he went over there, Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo went to North Korea and carried the president's message. Okay? He carried it over there. And here's what Mike Pompeo did. He took a read on Kim to see if he is serious about the meeting. That's what Pompeo said Sunday. When he went over there, he carried the president's message directly to Kim Jong-un of how this would go. And trust me, Mike Pompeo did. At the time Mike Pompeo went over there, he's head of the CIA, not the State Department. And he went over, probably with a team of specialists with him, to take a read. Look at Pompeo's words. He went over to take a read to see if this guy was serious about a meeting. Folks, I do not know what the Democrats will do. It absolutely killed them Sunday. It's killing them this week to have an admission that this is big and Trump gets credit. It's hard for Democrats not to give the President of the United States credit where this is concerned in Korea when the North Korean media is actually being respectful to the president. When the North Korean media is saying, hey, we're going to let reporters in here. When Macron, the French president, is saying, hey, you know what? Trump's pressure, the sanctions, the president's leadership, it's pretty hard. How do they go on TV when the president of South Korea and their foreign minister in South Korea are in the media all over the place saying President Trump's pressure and his tactics? Just saying. All right, so that is coming up as far as the meeting there in North and South Korea. There's something I want to say. This is something that comes to mind, okay? I have so many notes here from the weekend. I usually come in Monday and try to figure out how do I get everything into the 2 hours. Paul Ryan. Now, something the president said to me, said to you and I, okay? Something the president said to you and I in Michigan, okay? That no border security, I'll shut the place down. You realize the omnibus deficit busting $1 trillion spending package, 1.3 or whatever it is, only lasts till September? I want to know what Paul Ryan is leaving us with. I just got thinking about this yesterday. I don't know why I've not thought about this before, but John Boehner had an omnibus budget sitting on the table when Paul Ryan became Speaker of the House, and Paul Ryan came in and said it was baked in the cake, it was sitting on my desk, I could not start over, we didn't have time. We never have time. We could do a 30-day continuing spending resolution, but we didn't have time. We didn't have time. We could do 6 30-day continuing. spending resolutions. We can have the media hype up it's midnight and will the government shut down. But in this particular case, Paul Ryan did not have time to go back on this omnibus spending bill and start over. So he handed it to the President of the United States. He gave Barack Obama his last 2 years. No arguments, no problem with the debt ceiling, nothing. He just had Obama skate right out of town with no issues whatsoever. Then he comes in, and under the leadership, you see what we have gotten. And now we just got this massive omnibus bill that they pushed through, but September. Folks, there's another omnibus being put together now, bill, spending bill for September. Another one, a massive spending bill being put together. I wonder what Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, that says he's retiring and leaving after this year, is going to leave us with. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Are you tired of hearing about James Kelly, the former disgraced FBI director? Are you tired of hearing his name? I am too. I want to talk about the polls for the Georgia governor as soon as we return. And we're going to go straight to that. Take us to break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
1.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's almost 9 o'clock. Now, at 10 o'clock this morning, we will have live our instant replay with Dave Garner, North Georgia's only live online Monday morning 10 a.m. sports show. Dave Garner and these guys are working hard to put together a great product. Last week we launched the show. It's live at 10 o'clock every Monday morning, and last week we launched the show. The staff got together afterwards. They went through, they critiqued themselves. I'm just so proud of how everybody does works around here. They critique themselves. They've worked on it all week, and we're getting ready. We're going to run it all summer long, because by time we get to football, which is here. I went down and met with Coach Chris Parker last week, the Pickens Dragon. Wow, you ought to see that jumbotron and that turf going down. But football is right on us. It's going to be here. We're May, June, July. We're going to be reporting on 7-on-7 camps and so on and so forth. Quarterback camps, passing camps, running back camps, you name it. That being said, am I correct that Nick Chubb went to the Cleveland Browns? Am I correct on that? That Nick Chubb went to the Cleveland Browns in the first round? Am I wrong or right? Just tell me. Because I tell you, that's what there's days you get up and you wonder, what do you do what you do? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? All right, I know I'm getting a little tongue-tied there, but... And I'll tell you, I'll never forget standing in Cedartown, okay? Now, if you, I forget the year, I could have looked up all these stats, but if you are a Gilmer Bobcat defensive player, okay? And I forget what year it was. It's about, I guess, 6 years now. 6 years now, right? Chubb's been in the UGA for 4 years, and his junior year. Anyhow, only one defense in Nick Chubb's high school career held him to under 100 yards. Only one. Only one defense in Nick Chubb's high school career held him to under 100 yards, and that is the Gilmer Bobcats. So you guys out there, when you see Nick Chubb and you're watching the Cleveland Browns this fall, the NFL, one, we pray Chubb does not take a knee so we can continue to be a fan. Two, I pray Chubb does not take a knee so I can get my Chubb Cleveland Browns jersey, whether you like it or not. Nick Chubb, I'm going to have one. But when you're watching him run the ball and they say Chubb up the middle for 8 yards, an 8-yard gain for Nick Chubb and the Cleveland Browns, you can say, I stopped that dude. Or you can look at the other guy on the other sideline. What, you can't stop him? I did. I just had to do that. Had to highlight that. And I'll never forget Cedartown, his senior year. Reporter, thank you, up there in Chattanooga, said to me, and I had a video camera that night, he said, the next time in the end zone is Nick Chubb's 100th high school career touchdown. And I made sure every time he touched the ball from that point out, I had the video. So I do have the video of his high school touchdown. That's why we do what we do here. We're going to be ready for the best season yet in high school football in North Georgia. Dave Garner, 10 o'clock every Monday, live instant replay. I really got into that, probably, Amanda. You could tell I really got into that. Are you wondering who some of the candidates are? Now, I've had so many people ask me, who is Margaret Williamson? Who is this candidate that is running against House Speaker David Ralston in the 7th District here, House District of Georgia, on the Republican ticket? Who is this person? Well, if you'd like to meet Margaret Williamson, you could come out to her meet and greet. She's having a meet and greet. She invites everybody out to come to say hello Tuesday. That's tomorrow, May 1st, from 6 to 9 at the ETC Pavilion on Legion Road in Ellijay. Come and join and have some hot dogs and apple pie and get to know Margaret Williamson. So if you're wondering who this is that's running against David Ralston, come out to Legion Road in Ellijay ETC Pavilion tomorrow at 6 o'clock and spend some time with the candidate. Now, we're moving right along. I already did the story where Trump changed time, but did you look that up? Are you over there?
Yes, I'm over here.
No, my question was, did you look it up? Because I have seen a whole lot of horseplay going on in there. I've seen a whole lot of, you have been everywhere but behind the control desk. So did you look that up? Oh, you can't answer that, yes or no. Oh, you want, no, now she's not talking. Oh, they get the pouting at me so easy around here.
Yeah, you're going to get the pouting.
Okay, folks. We talked about Trump changing time. Oh, my screen froze, and that's the reason I'm running double screen. Is so it wouldn't freeze on me, and I would be able to do my stories. Wow. Okay, well, hold on. There it is. Okay, polling data. Stop the presses, okay? First of all, let's just go with the governor's race of Georgia, all right? It is the first day. It is the first day of early voting in Georgia. And an AJC poll, which is as ridiculous as can be, because they have nothing to do. They create something 3 times a day, okay? Now, at this point in the campaign, you have every campaign manager sending you something all day long. I mean, throughout the weekend, I could not figure out who is really, I got 6 people telling me they're the most pro-life. How pro-life can you be? NRA, stand down. Stand down. I've never seen, it's so important because Casey Cagle got the actual endorsement of the NRA. The other candidates want to assert that they are pro-Second Amendment, and gun commercials, emails, Facebook blasts, whatever. These polls are not. Here is the poll. Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle has a commanding lead over his Republican rivals in the race for governor. No, he does not. I'm sorry. Don't get upset. He doesn't have a commanding lead. All right? That's my opinion. He has name recognition. All right? Cagle, this is how they have it broke down. All right? And you got to get down into it. And you're already getting... Now, Casey Cagle, Georgia Republican, gubernatorial primary poll. Casey Cagle has 40.8, right at 41% of the Republican primary in this poll. Okay? Hunter Hill has 8.7%. Brian Kemp has 9.6. All right? And Michael Williams has 3.2. Clay Tippins has 3.8. Now, 3.2 and 3.8 by Michael Williams and Clay Tippins. But what is the factor that is not being brought up in all the emails you're getting? Undecided is 33.1. 33.1. Move that into the Brian Kemp camp. Move that into the Hunter Hill camp. Adjust the Casey Cagle as the campaign moves forward, and things change drastically. So I don't want you to fall for these polls so fast yet. This is, I don't want to say anybody, but I will tell you this: the race between Hunter Hill and Brian Kemp right now, and Casey Cagle, it's worth watching. Clay Tippins and Michael Williams, they will get some of that undecided. So that's all going to balance out between now and May 22nd. The governor's race in Georgia, do not fall for what comes out that says this person's in first place, this person's in second, this person has a commanding lead. Although Cagle does have the money in the bank and Cagle does have the lead at this time. But please pay attention to friends over at the insurance commissioner's race, that's the one I'd really like for you to look at. All right, I'm just telling you, when he says you have a commanding lead, look at the details. All right, look at the details of the polling, how the polling was done. All right, the poll shows GOP race is more settled than the Democrat one. All right. Channel 2 survey, AJC Channel 2 survey released last week showed Stacey Abrams leading Stacey Evans 33-15. In the lieutenant governor's race, the polls show no clear frontrunner. State Senator David Schaefer led former state representative Jeff Duncan 14% to 12%, with ex-state Senator Rick Jeffries trailing with 7%. About 2/3 of the voters haven't decided. 2/3 of the voters, including 3 in 4 women. Now, why in that poll with David Schaefer? Why in that poll with David Schaefer? Now, I will tell you this. If you read the AJC's article on Cagle notched a 41% vote among Republican voters, giving him the edge over his rivals, but not enough support yet to avoid a runoff in a July runoff. Okay, he's followed by the 2 candidates, Brian Kemp and Senator Hunter Hill. Why nothing where it says, okay, some 40% of women still haven't picked a candidate. Why the focus on the women in this poll of who's picked the candidate? Why the focus on the AJC's poll in the David Schaefer race that 3 in 4 women haven't picked? This is for lieutenant governor, haven't picked their candidate. Why? Why? Because there's been a concerted effort to try to bring David Schaefer down and try to turn women voters against him? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, I don't want to go no further into this. There's a lot of time between now and May 22nd. Early voting started today in Georgia, which I do not agree with, and I think you ought to vote on Election Day. But David Schaefer, I think, he's got a lead right now, according to this, by Jeff Duncan. That's going to be an interesting race, Lieutenant Governor and Secretary of State. Okay. I want to go over one more thing. The caravan has made it, right? The caravan has made it to South San Diego. What did what's his name, Ron Burgundy, say? Stay classy, San Diego. San Diego, right? They have made it there, the caravan that is trying to get over the wall, but Border Patrol is meeting them at the border. Do we have the video of Border Patrol meeting the caravan?
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. Moose out front should have told you. Donald Trump said, stop them at the border. Do not accept them in. And no, there's no more room here. Stop them at the border. Turn them back. What has been found at the border that these people in the caravan were trying to smuggle through, get through? Oh, it's just amazing. I'm for sure the left is going to investigate this because they don't want some of this stuff coming into our country. 15 states floating taxing opiates. Really? I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
One.
You know, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And before we get to this next story, you do realize, Amanda, the real difficulty the illegals that are in this country committing crimes have. What is it? Come on. What do you think the biggest difficulty that the illegals that are in this country committing crimes, what can they not do? Oh, to hell with it. I asked you to Sam, get back in your room. I tell you, are you in the control room or not?
Now we are.
Now
I'm sorry,
you know
good sir. What was your question?
My question was, do you know what illegals that are in this country committing crimes have so much difficulty doing?
I don't. Following the law.
Checking out a library book.
What?
It's virtually impossible.
Why would you want to check out a library book?
I will explain in a minute. I mean, the difficulties of going to the library and checking out a book. I will explain if you hang tight. Okay. I'm your host, BKP. At 10 o'clock, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Well, that would be me. All right, let me back up. At 10 o'clock, instant replay with Dave Garner. You know, can you do me a favor and get something that goes in my TV set that when I say instant replay, it says instant replay? Really?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. If you and Sam weren't in there all morning playing Tiddlywinks.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
You don't even know what I just said.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
No. If it involves working hard, yeah, that's what we're doing.
No, Tiddlywinks. When I was growing up, I know we have to get one of my growing up stories. When I was growing up, my dad, every time we were not getting our work done or whatever, he accused us of being out there playing Tiddlywinks. Get back to work, quit playing Tiddlywinks. And I'm like, you know, I don't know what the hell Tiddlywinks is. Why do you keep saying that to me, Dad? So anyhow.
So you had the same reaction as I did. Minus the dad part.
All right, minus the dad part. Okay, so anyhow, this is a live show, instant replay at 10 o'clock and head coach, Pickens Dragon head coach Chris Parker is going to be live video. We're going to show you something that we can do here in the sports. Head football coach Pickens Dragon is going to be talking about. Hey, can I be in on that?
No, you cannot. It's not your show.
But he's going to be live on there, and I want to argue with him.
Nope. Not going to happen. Not your show.
Dave Garner will have Chris Parker, head coach of the Pickens Dragons, on live video right there on the TV, right? I mean,
I put it up there for you.
Right. Okay. So don't miss that. Anyhow, graduation. Let's talk about that just a minute. Graduation is the next couple weeks. And FetcherNews.com, we have put our teams together to cover that. When we cover a graduation, I think we have like 4 or 5 scheduled this year, that we document the entire day, from the beginning of your students showing up to be at graduation to the final walk across the line and get your diploma. So we have a great time there. We're getting ready for graduation. And I think the students down at Pickens County High School, the Dragons will be walking across a new turf field for graduation on that Saturday morning with a Jumbotron in the background. All right, so I tell you this, I know you think I was joking, right? Put up, Rahm feels everybody that comes to the country, Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, feels everyone that comes to the country illegally should get an opportunity to get a key to the city. Put up the city key card. This is the city key card, okay? This is a true story, all right? Folks, really, how are we going to stop? I mean, thank God Chicago's leading the way again, and Emanuel launches municipal IDs for undocumented immigrants and others. Yeah. Mayor Rahm Emanuel on Thursday launched a municipal ID card for people, and this came out. I think this came out April 26th. ID card for people in the county illegally and other Chicagoans as a piece of outreach to Hispanic voters. Yes, there will be a kiosk. No questions asked. You slide in $10. It takes a picture of you. I swear to God, it takes a picture of you and it puts it on this. Yeah, then you just go vote. I swear to God. I swear.
Like that.
Just like that. Hispanic voters and others oppose to President Donald Trump's immigration. Starting Monday, the IDs will be available. All right? At Kennedy King College in Inglewood, the first location where people can get them. All right? Other neighborhood spots will have IDs after that. There'll be other neighborhood spots where you can go to the kiosk and the card will be available at first by appointment. Kicking it off the ground. Let me see. Wait a minute. This is what is funny. All right? This is the other one, and we'll get past it. I swear to God. You can't make it. Chicago introduces This came out this week. Chicago introduces new city key identification card program. Chicagoans can now sign up to be a part of the city's new municipal identification program and unlock perks throughout the city. All right? Rahm Emanuel and other city community leaders introduced the new program inside the Field Museum Thursday morning. The Chicago City Key will be a 3-in-1 card to help people consolidate some of the cards in your wallet, you know, the mess. It will act as a valid government-issued ID and a library card. I swear to God. See, I tell you, it'll act as a library card. You will also have a library card in your pocket. You know, that's the hardest thing illegals have, is trying to get that library book, you know, when they're trying to go in and check out a library book, and then they go right. If you live in Chicago, this is what Mayor Emanuel said, Rahm Emanuel, if you live in Chicago, you should feel a part of our city. You know what? Do you realize if you fly into Chicago today, and you're there for 4 days, and you run into one of these kiosks, you say to your buddy, hey, give me $10, let's horse around. And you put it in, right, and you get your picture. It's coming. They're putting it in place now. They will have key points throughout the city to where there's no questions asked. You do not have to bring anything, do anything, no questions asked. If you live in Chicago, you should feel a part of the city, not apart from it. Emanuel said, the city key breaks down barriers and allows all Chicagoans to take advantage of the very best our city has to offer. That would be your tax dollars, your votes. The city key card program has been years in the making. We've been working incredibly hard with community members, legal professionals, and they haven't been working with legal professionals because it's against the law. Oh, and city departments to create a program that's accessible to all Chicagoans. Regardless of your residence, housing status, criminal record, immigration status, or gender identity. You get that? This is regardless of. You get this, it don't matter who you are. What's your regardless of, okay? Regardless of residence, housing, status, criminal record, immigration status, or gender identity, you can get this card. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know what? I was excited that I had an Ingles Advantage card and I get a discount on my groceries. You know?
Yeah, for real.
Some folks can't get a place to live, can't get a job, can't do a lot of things, especially vote illegally, if they don't have an ID. So this will be very helpful to them. No questions asked. I'm trying to tell you. Period. That's it. The City Key Card brought to you by the City of Chicago, soon probably coming to LA, New York. I don't doubt, I wonder if these candidates, I think I might ask Casey Cagle if he will make sure Atlanta never is allowed to issue a City Key Card so illegals can get a library book. Okay, we're pushing up on 9:30. I'm not done yet. I have a couple more things, and then Amanda has a story at 9:30. Amanda, do me a favor.
What's that?
Will you look something up?
I will.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to look the article up, but supposedly 15 states, just type in Google, 15 states are floating the idea of taxing opiates, the opiate manufacturers. See if you have that on the list somewhere. All right? Jon Tester needs to go, folks. Let's talk about that. I got 8 minutes. Jon Tester needs to go. All right? And he is the Democrat. He is the Democrat senator from Montana. Tester made up allegations about Ronnie Jackson. Actually just heard some rumors. Come to find out, Ronnie Jackson, they could not verify any of Tester's claims. But Tester was sent out to blow this nomination up. Set out to blow it up. Because the VA, although even on the All-Star Panel Friday, Rick said he was concerned if Ronnie Jackson could actually manage the VA. The VA is a behemoth, folks. Now, let me make sure this is understood. I want to get two parts in here. The VA needs broke down, torn apart, and built back up, while at the same time making sure we continue and increase the service and benefits to our veterans. That should not lack at any time. But the VA is a monstrosity in the deep state. It's the second largest agency, like 360,000 employees, okay? The bureaucracy is enormous, okay? Go to Washington, D.C. You see the families go to Washington, D.C. for the summer to take their trips, and they put up the picture of the Washington Monument, and they put up the picture of the family in front of the Lincoln Monument and the World War II Monument and in front of the White House and all the above. Very seldom do you go to Facebook and you see the pictures of like the VA, like the 9-story building that is a behemoth that takes up almost a city block, and it says the Veterans Administration. No, you don't see those pictures. Or Department of Education. This broke completely down. Ronnie Jackson was selected by the President of the United States, his personal physician, which we find out that Ronnie Jackson will not be going back to being the President's physician. He will not. He will not have that position any longer. My God, who will Donald Trump find to come out and tell people he will live to 200 years now? I mean, my God, what if the next White House doctor next year gives him a physical and Ronnie Jackson was wrong, and we get to come out on the news and say, we knew all along Ronnie Jackson was not the guy for the job. Rear Admiral Ronnie Jackson, John Tester totally lied about this man. There were found 4 incidents of accident, 4 incidents that caused damage to a vehicle. One was truck came by and slammed the mirror off. Folks, if you live in the city, all right, bumpers, things like that, none of them were drinking related. Nothing came out in the White House prescription room. Nobody came out and validated anything Tester said. A group of Republicans were concerned. A group of Republicans in the Hill article. You remember last week, I don't know if you remember, Amanda, I read the whole entire Hill article, and what I stressed to you last week is it continued to talk about Republicans, many top Republicans concerned. Republicans are talking about how they're concerned if these allegations are true, and they piled on. They helped Tester right out here. Nothing Ronnie Jackson, nothing that was brought up, drinking on the job, never validated, never confirmed. Hey, giving out the pills, Candyman. You know what? They said, hey, that was kind of like a joke. Here comes the Candyman down the aisle. You know, we need an ambulance so we could sleep on an international flight. All of it was wrong, totally. This man was totally, this guy alone, totally tried to destroy a rear admiral of the United States of America by lies, deceit, to stop and help to stop him from going to confirmation. Because if Ronnie Jackson would have went back to the President of the United States and said, hey, here's what we need to do, the deep state would we'd be cutting deeper into the deep state would be coming down a little fast. John Tester should resign. That's my opinion. I'm sorry for getting a little tongue-tied there. Okay. Before we get to the 9:30, I also want to say this. Arizona teacher walkout. pension funding, folks. American Federation of Teachers, the president of the American Federation of Teachers, isn't that interesting? That's the federation, man. American Federation of Teachers is headed out there to participate in the Arizona teacher walkout. Now, be careful of all of the states that say they have fully funded. This is the beginning. It's just the start. Be careful of every state that tells you they have fully funded the schools, your schools. Be careful of every state that says we've addressed teachers' pensions. Be careful with that. Now, I am pro-teacher. I just am. A promise was made to the teachers. A promise that cannot be kept or may not be kept. A promise that cannot be kept without actually taking the money out of your pocket. So you've watched Kentucky, you've watched West Virginia, you've watched Oklahoma, you're watching Arizona, folks, you will watch it in Georgia. This is the beginning of the massive blow-up over teachers' pensions and other public sector pensions. Pensions will explode in this country. Something has to happen. State legislatures are going to do one or two things. Either raise taxes on you enormously, or watch this. Let me just float this one out here. People hate when I float one. How about the state of Georgia? Just saying. How about the state of Georgia? Because they love a splost. Oh my God, I've never seen people in my life, a special purpose local option sales tax. These politicians love a splost. And then they love to tell you it's just a penny. Why, Lord, it's just a penny. That's all they love to tell you, right? Watch some smart guy or lady down in the Capitol float out a splost, a penny for teachers' pensions in the state of Georgia. Watch what happens, because they're going to take it out of your pocket, folks. They got to. Watch what's going on in Arizona, because they cannot continue. Teachers' pensions will explode. You didn't hear me say right or wrong. If you're going to teach and you sign up your paperwork and you put yourself in the pension plan and you got a pension plan and they told you were going to get X, I'm not telling you you're wrong because you can't get X. But let me tell you something. If you go over to the bank and say, look, they told me I was going to get X, and they look at you and say, there's nothing in the bank account, there's nothing in the bank account. But then again, you understand, you got all these politicians putting this stuff in your mailbox saying teachers and schools and fully funded, right? You may have to start paying attention to the actual candidate that tells you the truth, that we have to do something where teachers' pensions are concerned and other pensions for the public sector, all right? Gonna have to do something. Gonna have to. Something has to change. All right. Everybody can't work for the damn government and get a pension. All right. I should have never said that. All right. That being said, 9:30. Amanda, what do you have?
Good morning. Actually, our beloved Sam has an announcement.
Real quick, before we go to Amanda's segment, I just want you guys all to wish Colonel Poole a happy 88th birthday yesterday.
Well, thank you very much to Colonel. Yes, 88 years young. The Colonel Poole, thank you there.
Okay, so I've got something today, and you'll never guess what it is. I didn't mean to get on a roll with this, but it's another university jab. So the University of Texas is to treat masculinity as a mental health issue.
Oh, hell.
Okay, so
I'm crazy?
Well, are you... Oh, come on. You're a diva.
I am? Did you call me a diva?
Yeah, you're a manly diva, though. You've got the manly traits. Okay.
All right, move on with the...
Yeah. Don't even get me started there. So, okay, I'm going to read a little bit of this article because this is very important because I went to school for psychology, and this was actually I remember going through whenever all this the whole feminism movement and everything got up off the ground years ago, that this people like from the University of Arizona and places started writing articles into there's like a psychology board that you have to study all of your paperwork off of. And I remember seeing these articles and things of how people were trying to channel masculinity into a mental health issue, which, if you think about it, if we're all treating each other equally, what does that make feminism? It makes no sense. But I mean, they're going with it. The Council and Mental Health Center at the University of Texas at Austin recently launched a new program to help male students take control over their gender identity and develop a healthy sense of masculinity. So they want to completely reform what it is to be a man, which is to not be the social norm of a man anymore.
You know what? When you start, I never know where we're going. So, what do they want to do? So there's no longer boys will be boys?
No longer. And that's what they want. I'm telling you, it's getting to the point where I just don't even want my kids to set foot in a college. I don't. Like this is a real thing too. And if you ever go on campuses or anything, not so much around here, because we live in a very rural area, but campuses are becoming this.
Well, I hate to sound so strong and offensive here, but you're wrong. You go to some of our local campuses, you'll get caught off guard.
You are right.
They're changing daily.
You are right, but
now don't take that wrong. I know what you're saying, okay?
But think of the difference between like our University of North Georgia Blue Ridge campus, and then the difference between there and Kennesaw State University. It is a big difference.
I agree with you 100%. But here's another thing I'm saying. Is I like UGA football, okay?
Right.
But the kid comes home and says he's going to UGA, and mom and dad say go Dogs. Wow. I'm not about that. I think these major state indoctrination centers have to be broke up. We've got to bring them down.
Yeah.
We have to. Now, when I say bring them down, I mean we have to bring them back within, and I'm afraid they're behemoths within these states. Every state, there's not just Georgia, every state has created these behemoths.
It's a superiority complex. And it's so over the top that it's just unrealistic. The things that are taught, the idealisms, everything is so... It's unrealistic. It has nothing to do with actual life or emotions or responsibilities or anything like that.
Well, what are we talking about? What university is this?
This the program that's being launched out of is the University of Texas, and this is out of the Austin campus.
And what is it? One more time, they're doing.
The program that they are launching is a takeover their gender identity and develop a general healthy sense of masculinity. So it's an anti-masculinity program. And it's called Masculine UT is the program's name.
It's called what?
Masculine UT, which is, I guess, utilization.
I mean, we're only one step away, folks, but I'm not saying what it's from. All right, just last week we had a cry closet in Utah, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Whenever we get some time, I do want to show the Tucker Carlson video of him trying to get her to explain the cry closet.
Did Tucker try to get somebody to explain what the cry closet?
And it's hilarious. He knocked it out of the park. It is so funny. So I'll get that up for us.
Oh, I thought I would die when I saw the rules to the cry closet. Okay, listen, is that it?
That's all I got.
All right, well, stick around a minute. You know, I tell you, stick around.
I stuck around.
Sadly to say, you know, Alfie Evans died.
Yeah, I heard.
And Alfie died, and I tell you what, we need to be afraid, very afraid in this country for what we watch take place.
Not only just for this country, but for Western socialization. It's you know, it's all of the Western culture.
Well, let me just say this. What I wanted to say before I take my last break of the day, because you brought this, first, again, I want to thank you for bringing this to my attention. And second, this is exactly why, whether we overturn Roe v. Wade in this country, whether you believe that we should in this country, this right alone, Alfie Evans, is the reason why you have to maintain a strong pro-life movement in this country. You have to. You can never give up any ground that you have. And there has to be a strong pro-life movement, okay? Right down to it's a disgrace for any one of our politicians to give 1 penny of our tax money to Planned Parenthood, all right? You have to have a pro-life, strong pro-life movement in this country, because Alfie Evans, now look, you can believe however you want to believe, but we watched last week where totally the decision was taken away from these young parents, right, Amanda?
They were.
If one of your children, you have 3 kids, if one of your kids was to get sick, would you want the government not to tell you if there was a country that said, hey, and there was people, if you have friends in your church that we're going to pay the airfare, we're going to pay all the expenses, we want you to take your child out of the hospital, they have said there's nothing else they can do, and we have a hospital in India, and we will pay for the transport on the plane, and they'll receive your son on the other end. Should that not be your decision?
It will be my decision.
It will be.
Yeah.
All right, Alfie.
Die trying.
Huh?
Or die trying.
Die trying. Well, these kids almost did die trying, I got to say. Is it John and Kate? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
John and Kate, these 2 young kids. You know, our hearts go out to these young kids, these parents that lost Alfie Evans over the weekend after the feeding tube was removed from the government, after the life support system was removed from the government, after the government told them they could not take their child home to die, to be with them at home, after the government said they could not go to Italy even though the Pope had offered the Vatican's health care services to the child. All the above, right?
It's horrible.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show. I got a couple final thoughts I think you want to stick around for. And a couple more stories I want to cover before we end the show today and get into Instant Replay with Dave Garner. Take us to break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment, All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
One.
You know, I was going through some of this. I was going through some of this political literature. You know, Amanda, I am finding the most conservative because it is the conservative you can count on. Conservative values, the candidate that will be the conservative you can trust. I find that. Let's see. I find Second Amendment, that plays well, right? I'm finding pro-life. Nothing like a Republican primary in the South where, you know, Christianity gets 1 out of 3 in the polling. Don't get upset with me. But you know what I'm not finding on any of this literature is if you elect me, I will be the toughest governor in the United States on opiate addiction, whether it be treatment, stopping it, bringing it to its knees. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. I was looking those flyers over, and I'm trying to find a candidate that says they will be the toughest. I'm trying to find a candidate that's out there saying, you know what, opiate addiction, let's see. You know, there's old things that in Georgia, if it's happened in the last 10 years and you've been in some kind of office, whether you're directly related to it or not for the last 10 years, then what are you? It happened on your watch. I'm not finding that. I'm not finding that in any of these candidates. Now watch, I'm going to make a little prediction. You come back with it later in time. cigarettes. Now, these are pharmaceutical manufacturers making opiates, right? Are we going to stop making opiates? No. Are we going to stop Oxycontin or whatever? No, we're not going to stop that stuff. We're not going to. All right? It's not going to happen. So what happened with cigarettes? Now, I know what you're getting ready to say. You're getting ready to say, wait a minute. What do you mean cigarettes? What happened? What happened with cigarettes? We put an enormous tax on cigarettes. We did not make the cigarette manufacturers. There was a lawsuit that they settled. I know what you're going to say. There's a lawsuit that settled where cigarette manufacturers had to put a bunch of money into a fund to pay your health care bills, all right, due to cancer or whatever, cigarette-related health issues that you have. But we went state by state, the federal government, we put enormous taxes. We put a tax like you would not believe. So what? To cover the increased healthcare cost, right? Now, I'm not going to argue smoking or not smoking. And I know this is not a direct comparable. But this morning, I heard it's getting floated out there. Now pay attention, folks. Because what is the one thing I could say now? You remember we had asbestos, we've had cigarettes. Okay, we've had cigarettes in this country, and that was that actually was enough there to fund legal law agencies that were multiple floor. I mean, there was lawyers, 10 floors of lawyers that just worked on cigarette related litigation. I mean, oh man, that was great, right? For them. Then we have asbestos. We went through that in this country. Asbestos, another litigator's dream forever, right? Then we had mesothelioma, or whatever it was. I don't know, whatever it is.
Mesothelioma.
Say it again.
Mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma, right? We had that, which all of Americans know what that is now. That's a litigator's dream, right? A litigator's dream. And there's been several others. Now we have opiates. So what if we tax? Okay. Let me tell you what you're hearing, and I'm going to get off this. Just pay attention to this. Every single month, you're seeing class action suits against states suing the manufacturers. Now, the pharmaceuticals are not going to go down, folks. You need to look at the financial giving reports, financial campaign giving reports on all of your states, okay? From your president to everybody, no matter who it is. Representative, senator, it don't matter. You look at those pharmaceuticals. You look at Jay Florence that wants to be the next insurance commissioner. All right? In the state of Georgia, look at how much Blue Cross Blue Shield has given him. That's not a pharmaceutical company, but you look at the medical side. No, folks. They're not going anywhere. All right? The point is every month here at FetchYourNews.com, we have reported how so many counties are voting to get on a class action lawsuit against the pharmaceutical companies that make opiates. Oh, this is getting ready to blow up. So how do you pay for it? A tax. A tax on the opiates. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. So if a pill costs $10, they're going to put a 25% tax. It's going to cost $12.50, right? Is that right? I don't know. I'm not right. Is that right? I don't know. I could be wrong. $12.50 the pill. They're just going to pass it along to the customer. That's it. And the customer is the black market. Folks, get ready for the opiate addiction tax that to help pay some of these lawsuits. States are suing pharmaceutical companies. Just get ready. All right, I have to go. Before I go, don't forget, John Tester has to go. The disgusting, vile, foul-mouthed, whatever lady, Michelle Wolf last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but yet we call somebody like Diamond and Silk dangerous to the community. I think what we ought to do is we ought to call Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook and say, look, we're going to give you some comparables. Dangerous to the community, not so dangerous to the community. Maybe you could send this to the team that identifies who is dangerous to the community and let the team do some reviews, okay? Let me make sure. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything else. Wednesday, we'll be on the bus with Casey Cagle, a day with the candidate. Natalie and I don't know who Valerie is. Natalie and I will be on there. Let's see. What else I have? I got to make sure I haven't forgotten. I'm tired of hearing about James Comey. We'll talk about him later. We know James Clapper is a liar, and Clapper's actions sure do look like political manipulations. Friday's release of the House Intelligence Committee report generated much coverage over its finding of no evidence of collusion with the Russians. Clapper is a liar. James Clapper leaked. Director of National Intelligence James Clapper leaked information from the so-called Steele dossier. Even worse for Clapper, the alleged leak was made to CNN. Okay? We hope soon they'll start running them through. We'll get into that this week. Let's see. We hope soon they'll start running them through jail. Maybe the deep state will start coming apart here real soon. Let me run through there. That's all I think I have. But it's time for... Now, don't leave, folks. All right, don't leave. Right on the other side of these messages is the only live sports show. You don't want to miss it. And Amanda, I hope we tweeted it out. I hope Sam's down the hall pushing it out on Facebook. I hope we're pushing it out because head football coach Chris Parker is going to be our first live guest on the show with the video guest. You're going to want to check that out. And I can't be here for it, right? I have to leave.
Not your show.
Not your show. Not your show. That's what I keep hearing.
It kind of is, but it's not, you know.
Well, you know, when it gets closer to football, you need to let Dave know. You tell Dave. Do me a favor. You pass a message along to him.
I got it.
Okay. Tell him to tell Chris Parker that I want him to. I want to be on when he's live so I can argue with him.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, we'll talk about it. Whoa. Folks, I'm your host. I'll be back tomorrow morning, but right on the other side of these commercials, instant replay with Dave Gardner, North Georgia's only live online sports program. I guess I'm trying everything not to leave so I can finish some more stories, but I'm out.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Did you hear me?
And a good morning, everyone. Dave Garner with you here as we welcome you to the instant replay right here on FYNTV.com. Thank you for joining us. I cannot believe May is this week. We have rapidly transitioned towards the summer season, but still plenty of spring sports to talk about. And the bulk of today's show will center around high school sports. And as you know, this program and Team FYN Sports is all about promoting and highlighting student athletes in a positive way. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. If it happens in North Georgia, we're all over it. Let me tell you, we're all over it today, especially in Pickens County, Gilmer County, and Dawson County. We got a ton of news out of Dawson that we're going to share with you. We have got a packed hour for you. The next 60 minutes, I guarantee it's going to be a roller coaster ride. So strap in, folks, and hang on, because we're going to take you through the world of local sports here along our Highway 515 corridor and beyond. Now, right off the bat here today, we're being joined by a very special guest via our V-Call technology. We have with us the athletic director of Pickens County and head football coach of your PHS Dragons, Chris Parker, joining us live right here on the Instant Replay. Coach, how are things going? All right, we're still waiting on Coach Parker right there, getting ready to put him in there. We are expected to have Coach Parker on with us here in just a moment. I will tell you that Luther Kinsey is also live in Pickens County this morning. He had an interview with Coach Mike Duffy, the new head boys basketball coach at PHS, and we're going to have that interview for you in segment 3 of our program. Now, in case you missed last week's show, I do want to let folks know how it all works. We talked last week in the first segment about the who, what, when, where, why, and how of Instant Replay, how all this got going here, and why I'm the one sitting behind the desk. Very excited about this opportunity here in week 2, as we kind of transition now into the program, we got a lot of things to talk about. And one thing that we're always going to do with this show is we're going to center it around local sports, around high school sports in particular, middle school and high school. But we will touch on some regional and national sports as well, and we're excited to do that. The Atlanta United with another big win over the weekend, 4-1 over Montreal. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show in our fourth quarter segment breakdown. And we will also have with us, we will talk a little bit about the Atlanta Braves. What a tear they have been on lately. 2 of the youngest players in Major League Baseball right now are 2 of the best, and they're playing for the Braves. And Ronald Acuna, who of course got called up, and Ozzie Albies, who I had the pleasure of watching over the last several years over in Rome with the Rome Braves, and now he has, of course, since been called up as a starter for the Atlanta Braves, and what a job he's done. Again, this show is broken down into 4 quarters. We have our first segment, which is right now our first quarter, if you will, our second quarter of the program. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on in the way of golf and track and field, and also our Taking It to the Next Level segment, where we highlight those who are headed on to college, signing scholarships and so forth. And we've got a slew of folks to talk about as we go on through the next couple of minutes of this program. In our third segment, again, we'll have the interview with Mike Duffy as we talk a little bit about changing of the guard. And in our fourth and final segment, that's where we will bring it all back together with our regional analysis. So I'm getting a thumbs up, I think, from inside the control room there. So it does look like we now have Chris Parker with us, joining us right here live via V-Call. There he is. Coach Parker, how you doing?
Doing good, Dave. How about you?
All right, there we go. I think I can hear you now. All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you being on board with us right here. Talk a little bit. I know the bit of Pickens County is the renovation of the stadium. There's a lot going on there. Talk a little bit about what's going on there and when we can expect the completion of the new facility.
Scoreboard, and should be completed Can you hear me, Dave?
All right, we're still experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty right here as we try to patch in the audio there from Coach Chris Parker. Again, stay with us, folks. I promise we're going to make this work right here as we continue to experiment with a few things. But we have some really neat features that we're going to be doing on this program, and we certainly appreciate Coach Chris Parker being one of our guinea pigs, if you will, being one of the first folks to V-call us in right here. And that's one of the things we're planning on doing with this program each and every week, is having coaches on. Of course, Luther Kinsey, our Team FYN sports guy, will also be joining us not only live in the studio as he did last week but also through our V-call technology, and we're excited to make that work, and we will make that work, folks. I certainly promise that. Let's talk a little bit about the renovation. Coach Parker, again, leading into that a little bit. The renovations to the stadium are drawing near completion, and it's a very exciting time for folks in Pickens County. Now, a 32-foot video board is currently being installed. In fact, it does look like that portion has been completed, and the board seems to be up and running, so that is very exciting. And I know a lot of folks out there was a lot of debate and speculation about the way that the schools are changing in Pickens County and so forth. And again, this is a sports show, so we're not BKP talks about the politics in his program over the last couple hours, so we focus on the sports side. But I will say that once this facility is completed, I think it'll do a lot for the community in Jasper and surrounding areas, of course, of Pickens County. On Friday of this past week, the asphalt crews were laying down the surface of the new track and the turf for the playing surface on the field. And I caution that I don't say football field or football stadium, because Obviously, a high school stadium, especially the one in Pickens County, you get a lot more use out of it. Soccer, obviously track. There are a lot of folks that use this field throughout the year, so it's not just football that this is going to benefit ultimately, and so that's what we love about it. Again, AD Chris Parker has to be completed soon, and he is anxious to get out there, and I know those guys are as we near spring football practice as well. So again, the crews are installing the new turf, and they are the same ones, get this folks, the same ones that completed the turf at Mercedes-Benz, the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, which of course will host the Super Bowl next year. So again, a lot of folks, a lot of work going on behind the scenes right now with the completion of this new stadium, and we're excited to have the coverage for you right here as part of the Instant Replay. Still working on patching Coach Parker through, and we will do that hopefully here soon. But let's transition into baseball for just a moment. Speaking of the Pickens Dragons, their season came to an end on Friday as they went up against the number 1 seed Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. We all know about Cartersville, the tradition that they have, especially in high school baseball, and they won both games of a doubleheader over the Dragons in first-round action on Friday. But what a season for the Pickens Dragons. They've had a couple of different guys signing college scholarships. We've talked a little bit about Joseph Gossett moving on to the next level. What a career he's had at Pickens High School. What a season overall for the Dragons. They just run into a buzzsaw in the first round. Anytime you go up against a Cartersville team, year in and year out, you're going to go up against a big challenge there, to say the least, and that's exactly what the Purple Hurricanes posed to the Dragons on Friday. So the Pickens season does come to an end, but what a season it was as they qualified for the GHSA State Baseball Playoffs. How about the Fannin County Rebels? Wow. What can you say? A true heartbreaker right here. The Rebels again making the GHSA state playoffs, where they took on Franklin County and forced 3 games. The Rebels actually took game 1 with 11 runs on 11 hits in that first game, but in games 2 and 3 it was Franklin County who pulled out the wins. Franklin again winning convincingly in the second game. It would come down to a game 3, and it was Franklin County who hit a 2-run walk-off homer in the 10th inning to win that game. Now, high school baseball games typically go 7 innings, so to go 10 innings, you're almost playing basically another game and a half. So what a battle, though. I'll tell you what, I'm proud of those Fannin County Rebels. They battled all the way to the end and fell just short. And I mean just short of a second-round appearance in the AAA State Baseball Playoffs. But again, congratulations to Fannin County, Pickens County, on a wonderful high school baseball season. And we're getting into that time of year where we're beginning to transition. We're getting right here towards the end of the school year, towards the end of the spring season. We're going to start to see sports kind of fall off a little bit. We're going to start to transition, talk a little bit about spring football practice and the summer ahead, and then kind of begin our countdown into the fall, because I know everyone's anticipating an awesome football season here locally as well. Well, that's going to wrap up our first segment, our first quarter, if you will, of the program. We appreciate you guys joining us right here on this week's Instant Replay. We're up against our first time out. When we return in our second quarter of the program, we will talk a little bit more about golf and track from this past weekend, and our Taking It to the Next Level segment featuring some of the latest college signees from our local area. That on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Better days ahead. Yellow pollen means green cash at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. The spring savings event is on at Days, and the discounts are deep. Now save up to $11,000 off select new 2018 Chevy Silverados, or up to $6,000 off select new 2018 Equinox. Pick any Chevy you want and save a bunch during the spring savings event going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
One.
And we welcome you back to this week's Instant Replay. Again, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about here in quarter number 2 of our program, but we do want to apologize for some of our first segment audio difficulties. However, we do have joining us the old-fashioned way on the old telephone right here on the Instant Replay, Coach Chris Parker, the athletic director and head football coach in Pickens County. Coach, thanks for your patience this morning. Appreciate you being with us, and we'll get that all working at some point.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate you being on with us.
Glad to be here. Glad it worked out. I probably didn't need to be that visual anyway. People need to hear me and maybe not see me. Maybe that was the problem.
I know that the most disappointed person is going to be BKP because he's your biggest fan, man. No doubt about that. We wanted you to make an appearance on here, but we'll get it working. We'll get it working, no doubt.
Yeah, he probably didn't realize I caught the very end of the show where he said he wanted to stay on and argue with me.
Right, exactly.
But I noticed he didn't stay on, so he didn't really want to argue.
Right, exactly.
So maybe next time.
Yeah. Well, I think
tried his best.
Yeah, he's definitely within earshot, I'm sure, of what we're talking about right now.
That's right.
Yeah, Coach, thanks for being with us. I talked through some of the talking points of the new stadium, but folks want to hear from you, not me. Talk a little bit about the progress of the stadium, where we're at. From what I understand, the new electronic video board is in. Tell us a little bit about where we're at with the completion of that project.
Well, we went ahead and, as you know, we approved a renovation to the stadium, first time in about 20 years, and trying to eventually move the baseball field to the high school. That's kind of a longer-term plan. But to do that, had to turf the football field, and we put a new scoreboard in and redid the lights and had to renovate the track. The track was actually probably in most dire need of any of those things to repair. And so they can only work on the track when it's a certain temperature, and so they're going to have most of the track done, but probably not all the track done. But the turf will be done at graduation. Everything else, it'll be done at graduation here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And probably be done well before that. Probably be done the next week or two.
Right.
But definitely be done before graduation.
Absolutely. That'll be so. What an honor for those seniors that are graduating to be able to step out on that turf and really be the first ones to really use it,
That's
technically.
Right. That's
so,
right.
That'll be exciting. Let's switch gears, talk a little bit about spring sports. What a busy spring sports season it has been in Pickens County. Obviously, golf, we're going to talk a little bit later about Catherine Dinsmore, track, of course, the sectionals wrapping up. Give us your take of how the spring season has went overall.
Yeah, we're real pleased with our spring sports. Baseball made the playoffs, soccer made the playoffs in boys' side, and we had a girl qualify for the state meet, and golf, girls tennis team made the state playoffs, and track and field sent several on to sectional state, finished second in the region. So all 5 of your spring sports there, we had some success, and we're real proud of wrestling and girls basketball in the winter. So they both had really good seasons. So it was a good season across the board. We're definitely making strides in our athletic department, and just trying to get better. And really proud of the coaches and the players who really have done a good job this spring.
There we go. Absolutely. Now, there are 5 sports in the spring, as you alluded to, but I guess technically there could be a 6th if you include spring football practice. I know that obviously that's on the horizon, and in addition to your role as the athletic director, countywide AD, you're also the head football coach, and what a job you have done with that program over the last several years. Talk a little bit about spring football practice being on the horizon and the excitement surrounding the football program in Pickens County.
Yeah, it's exciting time. We start next Monday, a week from today, and probably, you hate to put expectations on yourself, and coaches are notorious for downplaying things, but I will tell you, it's probably as exciting of a spring anticipation of it, I guess, as we've had since I've been here. We got a majority of our team back from last year, and we do have to replace a few key guys, but a lot of our guys that are coming back have played on Friday night. So I don't know that I remember in 18 years having as many kids back as we have now. I don't, hopefully that's not setting us up to fail. That's not going to win us any game. We start with 0 points every game, but it is nice to have, guys that have played in the system and kind of know what to do. And, the other thing is this is my 7th year here. And so we've got kids coming through who've come through the middle school program, come through the high school program doing the things we've asked them to do. And so it's always neat to see the fruits of that labor. Sometimes, we got coaches who, put time and pour into those 6th and 7th and 8th grade kids, knowing they're not going to coach them for 4 or 5 more years. Well, my 4 or 5 years are coming up, so you're getting these guys that we invested in years ago that now can play. And that's exciting to see.
And you guys have had a lot of guys go on to the next level. I mean, obviously Shannon Brooks was certainly a big name, but since then a couple other guys. I mean, it seems like as you mentioned, growing the program from the middle school, and I mean even the rec leagues for that matter. With you having been here now 7 years, I mean, you've seen a group of elementary school kids basically come through and are now getting ready to graduate. It's got to be nice to be able to really see the full maturity and development of some of the guys that have come through your system.
It really has. Probably the most rewarding part of all of it, just seeing the guys grow as kids and to semi-adults, and then it's great to see them when they're 25, and you see them out too. So we've got guys from age 24 or 5 all the way down that we've coached here in Pickens County, and so that's kind of neat. I'd like to see them out. Some of them have been very successful playing football or otherwise, but we have seen. I think we've had 6 people with Division I, Division II offers in the last 6 years.
Right.
So, and that's a big number based on the history of what's happened for 60 years.
There we go. Well, the Pickens Dragons certainly headed in the right direction. Coach, thanks for being with us. Very excited about the things going on in Pickens County, especially with the renovation of Dragons Stadium. Certainly looking forward to the completion of that, and we're ready for football.
That's right. Good to talk to you, Dave. Glad to have you on this show, man.
Yes,
if I can help you guys anyway, let me know.
All right. We appreciate that. Coach Chris Parker joining us right here live on the instant replay via the phone. And Coach Parker, again, the system-wide, county-wide athletic director and Pickens County and head coach of the Pickens Football Dragons, joining us right here on the program. Let's talk a little bit about taking it to the next level. We just got through talking with Coach Parker about guys moving on to the next level. He said they've had 6 or 7 D1 and D2 offers or so over the last 6 years in Pickens County. What an honor that is. And the accolades continue to flow for local student athletes in our local area. On April 16th, Dawson County, Connor Bearden signed a national letter of intent to play baseball at Truett McConnell College in Helen, Georgia for Coach Mike Crowley and the Bears. Congratulations to Connor. He has been a stud as his time as a Tiger in Dawson County, and we certainly wish Connor all the best as he gets ready to take his game to the next level, hence the name of this segment. Now, this segment is not necessarily something we're going to have every week, obviously, but right here towards the end of the school year, it is a popular segment because we have so many people that are signing and moving on to the next level, and that is always great to see. As I said earlier in the show, this program is all about highlighting and promoting student athletes in a positive way, and what better way can we honor those students than by talking about them moving on and contributing at the college level. And one thing we really want to make an effort to do right here, especially especially not just with Team FYN Sports, but also with the Instant Replay, is follow the progress of these guys who are moving on to the next level, and share some notes with you as these guys and girls continue to excel in their respected sports at the next level. And so we're planning on doing that right here. Speaking of, Gilmer County also was several expected to sign this week. 5 Gilmer Bobcat and Lady Cat athletes, again, should be confirming their decisions this week. Evan Mentor for swimming. Grace Henderson for soccer. She was definitely a standout. Carolina Teague for volleyball. Marie Goswick for softball. And Aubrey Cagle to sign with track for Gilmer. Again, that just all out of Gilmer County. Team FYN sports guy Luther Kinsey will cover the signings this week, and we will have a complete wrap-up and story for you next week right here on the Instant Replay. Let's move on to golf. Talking with Coach Parker a little bit earlier in the show, I had alluded to Pickens County junior Catherine Dinsmore. What a job this young lady has done. Her third year in high school, 3 state appearances. She finished second in the area with a score of 78, and she'll be making her 3rd state appearance. This year's tournament will be held at the Innsbrook Golf Club up in Helen, and it'll take place May 21st and 22nd. So in about 3 weeks, we're going to see Catherine Dinsmore kind of take it to the next level in her own right. Now, she still has 1 more year of high school, but I would completely expect, and not to put any pressure on our young student athletes, but I would expect that Catherine Dinsmore may very well be one of those, if she so chooses to take her game to the next level as well, and she may very well work her way into that segment of our program next year. But congratulations to Catherine. What a season it has been for the junior from Pickens High School on the links. Track and field, a busy last couple of weeks. Dawson County hosted the 7 AAA Region Track and Field meet on the 18th of April, and with top 4 finishes from each of the events qualifying for state sectionals to be held at Greater Atlanta Christian, the Lady Tigers did very well. They had 5 girls qualify for the sectionals. Frankie Muldoon was crowned as the region champ in the 800 and 1600 meter events. Jenna LaCour second in the 3200. Caitlin Martin was 4th in the 100 meter hurdles. Anna Lowe was the region champion in the shot put. Brianna Ray was 3rd in the pole vault. And the Tiger relay teams qualified in the 4x100 and 4x400 meter events. Congratulations to the Lady Tigers of Dawson County, who have put together quite an impressive track and field season this year. Other results from the area, the state sectionals for Gilmer and Pickens were this past weekend down in Columbus, and some great individual efforts for Gilmer. Naomi Coombs was one of those athletes that stood out. She won the 1600 meter event, or the mile as it's commonly known to most of us folks here. But again, Naomi Coombs, a freshman at Gilmer High School, winning the 1600 meter event. She will qualify and head to the state meet at Berry College. Congratulations to Naomi, highlighting some of the Bobcat efforts there. PHS, again, Pickens, as Coach Parker alluded to, another great season here for track and field this past weekend. Olivia Moore qualified for the state meet in the 100 meter hurdles and the pole vault. She's headed to Georgia Tech, it looks like, on a scholarship in the pole vault there. Will Giambra in the pole vault. Matt Webb in the pole vault. A lot of good pole vaulters in Pickens County. Zach Goss qualifying for the state meet in the high jump. Sabrina Young in the 3200 meter event. She's been awesome to watch as a runner at Pickens High and middle school, even over the last several years, has been awesome. And Connor Moranos qualifying in the 3200 meter event as well on the boys side. Connor's been very consistent over his years at PHS as well. So congratulations to all of those track and field standouts on an excellent season, but they're not done yet. They are going to be headed to the state meet over at Berry, and certainly excited about that. Now, we do want to remind folks that this show is interactive. Last week, it was our first week, and we wanted to kind of put the launch out there. I had Luther Kinsey with me in studio as we talked a lot about high school sports. We touched on some regional and national stuff as well, but I do want to encourage folks that you can call in. If you want to be part of the show, you're welcome to do that. All you got to do is pick up the phone, like Coach Parker did just a few minutes ago, and call us at 706-889-9700. Again, the line is the same, 706-889-9700. If you're a little camera shy and you don't want to talk to us on the air, you're always welcome to email us with your stats, photos, results, scores. If you want to post something, even if it's your Little League grandson or granddaughter, please feel free to do that. You're welcome to email us at Team FYN Sports. That's Team FYN Sports at fetchyournews.com. Team FYN Sports at fetchyournews.com. Send us any pictures, any remarks, any score updates, any results. If you have a student athlete that has moved on to the next level and they have excelled, then please share that news with us. Folks like Matthew Waddell, for example, I had a good conversation with his dad, Mark, over the weekend. Matthew, of course, graduating from Gilmer High School, now out at the University of Oklahoma on a wrestling scholarship, and he continues to tear it up. One of just a few wrestlers from Oklahoma that was invited to a big tournament out in Las Vegas, a big national tournament there, and Matthew did very well in that tournament, and I continue to congratulate the Waddell family because, man, I tell you what, Matthew, as we all know, is a hard worker in his 4 years at Gilmer High School, multiple state champion. Now he's wrestling at the University of Oklahoma and doing a great job there. So, again, Matthew, just one of many from among our local area that have since moved on and are now playing collegiately as they've extended both their academic and athletic talents to the next level. We want to hear from you. So, again, if you're someone out there that has a student athlete that's moved on and is now playing in college, or maybe you've got a park and rec player who slugged 2 or 3 out of the ballpark the other night, we want to know about it. If it happens in North Georgia, we're all over it, but we need your help because we want you to help us feed stuff as well. Maybe there's something out there that we missed, so we want to know about it. Call us. Let us know about it right here live on the program, 10 a.m. on Monday, 706-889-9700, or the best way to reach us throughout the week is to email us at teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. We're going to go ahead and take another break. That is the second quarter portion of our program in the books, but we still have half the show left. And I'm almost out of breath right now talking about all the things that we've had so far. But I still got plenty more to take. I hope you do as well. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about the changing of the guard, some news out of Dawson County. And Luther Kinsey is standing by with Coach Mike Duffy, the head boys basketball coach in Pickens County. All that and much more straight ahead on this week's edition of the Instant Replay right here on FYNTV.com.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
One.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Instant Replay. What a beautiful weekend it was. Yesterday it was so nice being out next to the pool there a little bit. I didn't get in yet. It's not quite that warm, but I did get a little bit of sunshine. Amanda, how about you? Amanda's, again, is behind the glass here today. How about you? Did you get any sun this weekend?
Well, I wasn't brave enough to go into the pool. Wow, I would not do that yet. But I did do some yard work this weekend.
Yeah, well, I got a lot done yesterday in the yard, too. Yeah, now let me clarify. I didn't jump in the pool. You're right.
Yeah.
Not quite warm enough to do that yet. We had to skim it, though. There's a lot of leaves and stuff. We're getting it ready because later this week, I think temperatures are supposed to be into the 80s a couple of days this week.
I know, I'm so excited.
So if you're like me and you love warm weather, you're very excited about the forecast for the rest of the week there. So, but anyway, you know, Amanda's a little bit of a, I guess you're a little bit of a redhead, so you might be a little fair skinned. I don't know how well do you tan?
I tan pretty well.
You tan pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad's half Cherokee Indian.
Okay, well there you go. Well, I don't want to get too personal, but I was just wondering about that because, you know, I know sometimes the redheads can be a little fair skinned, but no, I mean it's I'm excited about the weather, and so glad to be getting out there. Glad to be getting out there in it this week, and hopefully you will too as we transition into May. I cannot believe that it is May this week. Right here. Wow, it's just unbelievable. And May always is a very big, April is probably the busiest month. I always said that back when I was doing sports full time, that April was probably the craziest, busiest month of the year when it comes to sports, especially high school, just because, like Coach Parker said in her last sub, you got so many things going on. You got 5, and if you count spring football on the tail end of that, you really got 6. But, you know, golf, track, tennis, soccer, baseball, I mean, there's, and, you know, for almost all those sports, there's boys and girls. So really, it's like 5 sports, but it's almost like 9 or 10, really. So it's just crazy. But May, when you get into May, you start getting into the postseason as well, and we're seeing that with the state meets and the state events and all those sorts of things. So it's an exciting time. It's awesome, and I'm so glad, so thankful that we have some warm weather this week and some sunshine to enjoy it in. Time now for our changing of the guard segment. Now, again, this is basically anytime we have a coaching change or a personnel change in our local area, we like to let you guys know about it. And Dawson County, some news out of Dawsonville. Current athletic director of Dawson County High School has announced that he will retire at the end of the year. However, there has already been a replacement name. Taking the helm as the new AD for the Tigers will be former Jefferson head girls basketball coach Jason Gibson. Now, if you know anything about Jefferson, you know that they have had quite a run over the years in several different sports, obviously wrestling, but girls girls basketball is one of those that is also produced. Gibson will start as not only the AD but also as the assistant principal at Dawson County High School. A little bit of background on Gibson, just so you know. He was a Jefferson alum. As a basketball player, he scored 2,400 points. In high school, he played college ball at the University of West Georgia before transferring to University of North Georgia as a sophomore, and he scored well over 1,000 points for his career in just 3 years. He currently holds the University of North Georgia record for the most three-pointers in a game with 9, and so a good pedigree for Jason Gibson, who now looks to move into the administrative part of things in Dawson County as the assistant principal and new athletic director at Dawson County High School. So congratulations there to Coach Jason Gibson. We look forward to working with him and all of the folks, Go Tigers and Lady Tigers, over in Dawson County. Speaking of our changing of the guard, our very own team, FYN Sports, Luther Kinsey is sitting down with Mike Duffy, who was recently named as the new head boys basketball coach in Pickens County, where he replaces Brad Steinhauer. Again, Luther Kinsey, a member of Team FYN Sports. Let's listen in on that interview.
Right.
Good morning. Luther Kinsey with Team FYN Sports and Instant Replay. I'm here with Coach Mike Duffy, the new head coach of Pickens County boys basketball. How you doing, Coach?
Doing just fine today.
Good deal, good deal. So how's it feel to come to Pickens County?
Well, I'm excited. It's been a good first week. I got up here early so I could get familiar with the boys and work some of them out and maybe get an early start. And it's been a great first week.
Good deal. Well, in my research of you, you come from a very good pedigree of basketball.
We've had some success.
Now, you went to J.J. Kelly High School in Wise, Virginia. Did you play there?
Yes, I did.
What position was it?
I was a wing player.
Wing.
Yes,
good
sir.
deal. Good deal.
I shot too much.
All right. From there, you went on to Clinch Valley College, which is now University of Virginia Wise.
Right. That's where I finished. When I left high school, I was a baseball player. I played baseball at Gadsden State in Gadsden, Alabama, and then transferred from there to Columbus State. And the old arm went, and back in those days, it's not quite the surgery they have today, so I had a choice, and I gave it up and went and finished school at Clinch Valley.
Okay. Did you play basketball there?
Nope.
No
I played just baseball.
Just baseball.
I was just a gym rat. I was always, the college coaches were always very gracious to allow me to hang around and listen and learn, and that's what I did.
Awesome. Well, that's learning is what it's all about.
That's it.
We could get these younger people to listen more and learn more, go further in life.
It would help. It would help.
Definitely help. Where did you start your high school coaching career?
Model High School, Rome, Georgia.
Rome, Georgia.
I started with a guy named Milt Travis. I was his assistant for 4 years, and that was. I started with a great group of men. A guy named Tab Gable was the head football coach, and Jimmy Bennett was the defensive coordinator. Wayne Huntley was the principal, and they taught me a lot about how to build programs. Because when we went to Model, they were all down. Basketball was bad, football was bad, and that group of men showed me how to build a program and the steps you need to go through and take to do that. And I'll always be grateful to those guys.
Well, I did notice that you are known as a builder of programs.
Right. I've been fortunate. I've taken over several. When I went to Macon County, they'd won 10 games, and when I went to Morristown East, they were off a 2-win season. I went to Gordon Central, they were off a winless season. When I went to Dalton, they were off a 5-win season. So I've always taken those kind of challenges. So this one's no different. I'm excited for it.
Good deal. I'm going to put my glasses on. I'm sorry.
I got you.
Well, at Dalton, you've been there for the last 12 years.
12 years.
217 wins, 101 losses.
They're wrong.
They're wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it's 218 and 92.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that. That sounds
I don't
better.
know where they got that number, but it's 218 and 92. So,
well, you know, that just goes to show you.
Yeah, well, I think they use max preps, and they just counted, and that's not always accurate when you go back.
That is very true. Very true.
The paper never called me on it. So,
well, leave it to me to do that
there
for
you
you.
go.
But, how many state appearances did you have at Dalton?
5.
Okay, well, they got that right.
Yeah, we played,
I got that right.
We played for 4 region championships and had a 3rd place finish one year.
Awesome. You made it to the 2nd round?
Yes, sir.
One time?
Yes, sir. Had to play Columbia in their gym. That was fun. It was tough.
Awesome. Well, coming to Pickens, what is your philosophy going to be as far as working with these guys? I know previous coach, had his thing that he instilled in the young men as far as practicing and working hard. Every coach is different. What do you plan to bring to Pickens County High School in boys basketball?
I worked out with some of the seniors yesterday. I had 3 of them with me yesterday, and we talked about accountability, where they stand, and who's responsible for this. At the end of the day, the coach can only do so much.
Right.
The kids have to want to win. They have to want to work to win. They have to be accountable to each other. And that's what I talk to them about, being accountable to each other, the team, and their coaches. Because I told them I'm going to be there. I'll be accountable. I'll be there. I'll show up. I'm going to work you hard. I'm going to demand you do certain things to get better. And if you're willing to do those, I think you'll get better. And I think they were open to it, and they were accepting of that view of accountability.
Okay, good deal. Awesome. Well, I know in football they have kind of the spring practice and spring games.
Right.
And that kind of thing. Does basketball offer anything like that?
No.
Does Georgia High School give you the option to be able to go play other people in off season?
No, not until after school's out. Okay. Once school's out, we can do what we want. So I'm hoping to finalize the schedule today for our summer workouts and scrimmages and whatnot. So we'll do that through about June 20th. And I know we're working out with Murray County one day and Gordon Central one day. We've got we're going over to Union County for a couple things. We're going down to Northwest for a couple of scrimmages. So we'll have a busy summer.
Good. Look forward to it. Have you met with the whole team? Or just the seniors? Or?
No, I met with a group of prospective players.
Okay.
So I really haven't had a team meeting per se. I've met individual kids, and I've talked to some, and like I said, I had a workout yesterday with a few, and I'll schedule a few more of those with other kids next week. So I just want to get to know them and meet them and let them get to know me.
Well, I'm sure they're glad to have you. Like I said, your record that you bring in is it speaks for itself.
We've had some good players, and
you've set standards at every program you've came to, and increased their wins.
Always leave it better than you find it.
Exactly. And there's no doubt in my mind, after meeting you the other day and talking to you today, not only are you going to increase the wins for Pickens County Dragons, but you're also going to increase just their attitudes and just help them along in life, and that's probably the most important, in my opinion.
That has sort of been my stock and trade. No matter what sport I'm coaching, relationships are big to me. To this day, I have, I get phone calls from former players, some in their 40s. I know I don't look old enough to have players that old, but I've got my oldest former player's 51.
Oh, wow.
But and as you mentioned earlier, I coach softball. The softball girls they call a lot. I get a lot of calls. Yes. I go to weddings. I go see babies. It's awesome. That's what I love about this business, and that's what I do it for.
Good deal. So, speaking of softball, I just have to ask: any thoughts about possibly joining the ranks?
No. I'm 33 years in. I'm down to one sport. That's all I can do. I used to do 3, but now one's plenty for me.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I appreciate you sitting down with me and talking. Look forward to a good season. R.J. Casey covers Pickens County sports here at the Pickens County area, and he will be all over it.
All right. We look forward to it.
Hopefully you'll meet him soon, and if you haven't already.
I have.
And he is great. He does a great job for you, and he'll be putting all your your wins, and
well, I hope we have a few.
Hopefully more of those than the losses, of course. But he'll be covering you all season when it gets going, and of course, Team FYN Sports is here for you as well.
Okay.
We'll do anything we can.
We're excited. We're excited with the opportunity. I think the kids are excited, so we just got to get to work and get it done.
Awesome. Thank you so
All right,
much
yes,
for being
sir.
here.
Thank you.
Once again, it's Luther Kinsey with Team FYN Sports. Sat down with Coach Mike Duffy, the new head basketball coach for the Boys Dragons. Back to you, Dave.
You're right, man. You're right, man.
All right, thanks, Luther. We appreciate that. A good interview there with Mike Duffy, again, the new PHS boys basketball coach in Pickens County. We're going to go ahead and take another timeout. When we return, we'll move to some more regional and national sports news. Stay with us as the instant replay continues live right here on FYNTV.com.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Instant Replay right here on FYNTV.com. Again, Team FYN Sports, Team Fetcher News Sports presenting the Instant Replay. Now, this show is live on Mondays, so if you're watching this on April 30th, you indeed are watching live. If you're watching it on another day, then you're more than likely watching an encore of the program. But again, it airs throughout the week right here, Monday through Thursday on FYNTV.com. We encourage you to check it out. And so again, it's a lot of fun. We thank you for joining us once again. And we want to thank Coach Chris Parker and Coach Mike Duffy for joining us on the program this morning. Again, Mike Duffy sitting down with our own Luther Kinsey, and Chris Parker joining us up top live earlier today on the program, talking about the new renovations to the PHS Dragons Stadium, and also getting ready for spring practice, also recapping a little bit of the spring sports season, which has been very, very busy around our entire area, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Also threw out a phone number and an email address early in the show, and I want to remind folks, again, you are welcome to submit stories to us, story ideas, any stats or results from any ball games out there. They can be park and rec. It doesn't have to be high school. It can be park and rec, middle school, you'll name it, you name it. Give us a call, 706-889-9700, or email us at teamfynsports@fetchernews.com. A lot of great high school sports here today. The first 3 quarters of this program were dedicated to high school sports because we had so much going on. But now we're going to switch gears and talk a little bit about some of the regional and national things that are happening here in the last 5 minutes or so of the program. And let's start with a regional recap. Again, the Atlanta United, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. What a victory on Saturday over Montreal at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta United trailed 1-0 at the break, but came back with a 4-goal second-half effort led by Miguel Almiron, and Kratz also had 2 as well. You like how I try to say the names officially? Almiron. But anyway, the Atlanta United now atop the Eastern Division standings with that win. They have the best record in the MLS. They have the most points in the Eastern Conference with 19, leading the New York City team and also the Sporting KC Kansas City team, who both have 17 right now. But what a season it's been. We talked about it last week on the first program with Luther sitting right here beside me, how much the city of Atlanta, and really the state for that matter, has embraced this soccer team. Who would have thought? Atlanta has such a bad reputation as being a bad sports town. And, when you look at what the Atlanta United has brought, the passion that they've brought to the city of Atlanta, their fans that show up in droves. If you're a national pundit, how can you look at that? And this also kind of plays into, I guess this could be my rant of the week as well, but how can you look into that and say that Atlanta is not a passionate sports town? We're just passionate about other things. I mean, up in the Northeast, college football is not as big. It's all about their pro sports, their pro football, and their basketball. But here in the South, we have NASCAR. We have college football. We have a lot of fan bases that are built into this area, but who would have thought that soccer would now be one of the most passionate fan bases in Atlanta, as this town has really embraced the Atlanta United, and they're good on top of that. So that makes the excitement even more. Congratulations to the United. We'll keep up with their progress as well. How about those Atlanta Braves? We talked about it up top here in the show today. Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies, 2 of the youngest stars in Major League Baseball. And I tell you what, Albies was with us a little bit last year, but he is coming on now. He's basically one of the top hitters in the league, as the stats show as of today. And how about Ronald Acuna? Since being called up, he has been on a tear. And I was a little bit worried about him because when he was down in the minors before they called him up, he was struggling. And Brian Snitker, the Atlanta Braves manager, said, I think he's just trying too hard. But they went ahead, they called him up, and ever since then he's been on a tear. So whatever he's been doing it right. And man, I tell you what, the Atlanta Braves have us talking. There's excitement back in this program. And you look at Falcons, you look at Atlanta United, you look at the Atlanta sports teams. The Atlanta Braves had kind of fallen off. I mean, again, after that 14 string of division champs, so they've barely made it into the postseason since that time. I'm excited for the first time in a long time. I'm excited about the Atlanta Braves, and that's an awesome thing to say, because when you think about history and tradition of Atlanta sports. You can say what you want about the excitement level of some of the other teams, but this is an Atlanta Braves town. The Braves have always been that team that really has kind of defined this city, in my opinion anyway. And so it's good to see the Atlanta Braves not being in the basement right now, but rather contending for the lead in the MLS Eastern standings. So again, I'm excited for the Braves, as you should be as a fan, and I'm actually excited to get down to the new stadium. I did once last year, but hopefully it'll be a few more times this year as we cheer on those Braves. Let's get that tomahawk chop going again. How about that? All righty. Best of the rest, NBA playoffs. So what's going on there? Again, the Cavs edging the Pacers in Game 7 over the weekend. The Cavs now take on the number 1 seeded Raptors out of the Eastern Conference. That series beginning on Tuesday of this week. And the Celtics also in a Game 7 against the Bucks, and they were able to win. We're the Celtics. Up next for those guys is the 76ers. On the Western Conference side, round 2 has already began for those two. The Warriors up on the Pelicans 1-0, and the Rockets lead the Jazz 1-0 over the weekend there. So again, those series already off and running on the Western Conference side. Once again, it's been an awesome show here today. We thank you for joining us each and every week, Monday morning, right here live on FYNTV.com, following a Good Morning from the Office with BKP. And again, a couple hours there leads into this hour right here. So we've got a full block for you in the morning, starting at 8 a.m. all the way until 11 a.m. on the East Coast. And we appreciate you guys tuning in once again for another edition. Just a reminder, again, that phone number, 706-889-9700. Also, our email. Feel free to email us with any information you may have at teamfynsports@fetchernews.com. That's going to wrap things up for the program. Once again, I'm Dave Garner. Big shout out to Luther Kinsey of Team FYN Sports for sitting down with Mike Duffy and feeding us a lot of the information here today. And until next time, we are looking forward to talking a little bit more about these college signings that are taking place in our local area, as well as recapping for some of the state results throughout the different sports, which we'll have for you over the next couple of weeks. And we're going to begin to tease a little bit more spring football coverage, because we know everyone's excited about that as we eventually set our sights on the fall season, which seems like a ways off, but as you guys know, it's not at all. It's right around the corner, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us right here on the only live online sports show in North Georgia that happens every week. It's called the Instant Replay. We'll do it again next Monday for you right here on FYNTV.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. I'm Dave Garner. Have a great week.